Well, the Bahamas Crisis Center has been assisting persons to tackle all forms of violence for more than 3 decades in the country. One of the many women behind the organization is Dr. Sandra Dean-Patterson, the executive director. I had an opportunity to sit and talk with her. Take a listen. So, of course, as we told you on Monday, we are celebrating Women's Week. And, of course, one of the pioneers, a woman, is, of course, Dr. Sandra Dean-Patterson. She is the director of the Crisis Center, and she has been one of those persons on the forefront ensuring that women's rights are protected, and especially tackling the issue of domestic violence for a number of years in the Bahamas. We want to say welcome to the morning edition, Dr. Patterson.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
It's wonderful to have you. So talk to us about the organization, the Bahamas Crisis Center. What is some of the aims or focuses of the organization?
Well, the Bahamas Crisis Center, the mission is a world free from violence, a Bahamas free from violence, and that women, children, everybody really has a right to a life free from violence. And so the center was opened in 1982, with 37 years this year. To respond to the needs for victims of domestic, sexual, psychological type violence. And over the years, we have seen hundreds, probably thousands by now, of victims of different types of violence and abuse.
And with this being Women's Week, obviously ending any type of violence against women is a key message for the organizations that support it. But how do we end that?
Well, it's a work for all of us. All of us have to work together. You know, it's something that impacts women here, women all over the world, and all agencies, ministries, whether it's social services, health, education, national security, youth, all of these ministries impact. And all have to work together. And then as a community and as a nation, we have to work together too.
So how great would you say the problem of domestic violence in the Bahamas is? Are you able to give us any statistics to measure it, or you can just keep it simple for us?
Well, the police tell us that there are 1,200 reports of domestic violence each year. So that's 1,200 persons that followed through with reports. But we know when we did the work, when we were advocating for the legislation for the Protection Orders Act in 2005, 2006, we did research in one police station, and we found that one police station had 627 reports.
Wow.
In one police station. And you know, we have maybe like 10 police stations in New Providence, you know? So that gives you an idea of the magnitude of the problem. The World Health Organization tells us that 1 in 3 women can expect to be abused, whether it's in domestic situations or in stranger situations.
And we know that while this week we focus on women, men are not exempt from being abused as well. So you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Definitely. You know, when the Women's Crisis started when the Crisis Center, I should say, started in 1982, we were the Women's Crisis Center. Mm-hmm. And we were focusing mostly on women because at that time, I was in the psychiatric hospital, and we were seeing so many women coming into hospital with childhood histories of abuse and violation, domestic violence, incest, all of those things. And so we wanted to start a service that would intervene at the time of the trauma and not after the person had decompensated into mental illness. So that's what we set it up for. But as the years went by and we were seeing so many children, boys and girls, and men calling, we then changed the name to the Bahamas Crisis Center. And since then, we have seen men, women, and children. So men will call. I must say most of them call on the phone, not as many come in as we would like. But, you know, men tend to not deal with their health, and certainly not deal with their emotional health, because we raise our boys to be tough and to not cry and to, tough it up. And, so we don't have as many men as we would like to call and say, look, I'm going through some things now, I'm feeling a little down, because that's part of life, that you have ups and downs. So we are available to men, women, and children.